Hello Internet, what's going on? I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Critic, here with another RWBY review, and since I got a lot of reading to do...
Me too.
I meant important reading.
Potato.
Well, since I got actual work to do, let's take a look back at episode 7.
It's funny that we're doing a little flashback on what happened last time on RWBY, as that's pretty much what the last episode was about. It was split into 6 sections, like it was made by somebody who separates their Fruit Loops and then slowly eats them before finally explaining what the hell they're doing in your house. The first was an Emerald flashback, where we learned that both she is the one that's able to create illusions in the minds of others, and that she's extremely loyal to her senpai. As if we didn't already know that. Then we got one of Mercury, where we learned that his assholery is genetic. Again, like we couldn't guess that. Afterwards, we jumped ahead to Garrett Hunter failing again to bring across the fact that Adam Torres is supposed to be an intimidating villain rather than some emo idiot. Again, like we didn't already know. Okay, you should get the point right now. They didn't really need these flashbacks. Then we saw Rooster Teeth try and fail to bring neither our villains nor the Fallen Maiden off as powerful or threatening. Especially considering how even though only a drunk crow showed up to save Autumn, and Cinder is now half a supervillain, the Three Stooges scamper faster than Rooster Teeth's bots can block my... Motherfucker! We then get one last one of Cinder convincing the White Fang to join her in the same manner that George Lucas convinced Disney to do more Star Wars movies. And after all those Family Guy skits where we learned that Emerald used to live on the streets, Mercury used to live with an asshole, Adam used to live with Blake, Autumn used to live, and the White Fang would like to live, we finally cut back to the present where we see that indeed Yang was set up. The Three Stooges then meet up with Shem, and back at the warehouse where no doubt the Ark of the Covenant lies, Mercury is told to stay behind, while Emerald and Cinder prepare for the next fight.
And now that it seems that those flashbacks are done, let's get this review started. What am I doing back on my old couch? Oh my god, I'm still in the flashbacks! Laconon, wake me up!
You're a dirty little daughter, aren't you?
Laconon, give me the push!
I feel like there's something I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, yeah. Okay, while you're dancing down there, I'm gonna start the review. We return to hear Ironwood telling the team that they're disqualified. Yang and the crew try to argue, saying that Yang would never do something like this, but the general tells them that it doesn't matter. Whether she maliciously attacked another student, which he personally doesn't believe is the case, or she saw something that wasn't so, the audience and millions of other viewers over the airwaves have already made up their minds.
Sometimes you see things that simply aren't there, even after the fight is past.
Okay, while Jimmy Neutron here tries to garner some sympathy, there are 3 things that I can't wrap my head around.
1. How come no one is suggesting that an external influence was the cause of Yang's attack? I mean, yeah, we know that Emerald tricked her, but it's still an option. Why is it that everyone keeps forgetting that we live in a world where superhuman beings exist? I thought we learned our lessons with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. 2. Wouldn't it have been obvious that something fishy was up? I really didn't mention it last time because it wasn't really relevant, but Mercury attacked with the high kick, and Yang retaliated thusly. Wouldn't there have been something wrong with how she attacked and where Mercury was hit? And if any of you guys bring up the monitor that showed her attacking him on the ground, then that just brings up Rooster Teeth's inconsistency into the mix. And D, why isn't Ozpin or Glinda there? Yeah, Ironwood's in charge and all, but this is still their school, and these are still their students. Shouldn't one of them be there as an overseer to make sure Jimmy doesn't overstep his bounds and create a potential lawsuit? I mean, seriously, it's 1 dude, 4 girls here. I think we have a problem. Yeah, the fivesome hasn't started yet.
God damn it, shut up, Laconon!
Oh, whatever, cause as he leaves, we have bigger problems brewing.
You guys believe me?
You're hot-headed, but not ruthless.
Blake? I want to believe you.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Blake?
Looks like there's trouble in the Bumblebee hive.
Oh, for God's sakes!
Yeah, this sorta comes out of nowhere, but we find out it's because Rooster Teeth don't know how to set up Adam as a character. So they're squeezing him in wherever they can, cause Blake says that she wants to trust Yang, but unfortunately has seen this before. A close friend who made decisions saying that it was in self-defense, then it was for the greater good, and then it was because they had it coming. Explaining that the change wasn't sudden, but gradual. Which doesn't make any sense here because this is the complete opposite. I mean, Yang just suddenly attacks somebody, but claims that it was not her fault. This is just a manufactured conflict so that you can have tension between characters, and to fuck us all by teasing the Bumblebee shippers. Bumblebee confirmed.
But you're not him. And you've never done anything like this before. So, I want to trust you. I will trust you. But first, I need you to look me in the eyes and tell me that he attacked you. I need you to promise me that you regret having to do what you did.
I saw him attack me, so I attacked back.
Okay. Thank you.
I think I'm gonna rest up.
We'll get out of your hair.
Outside, John asks if his fellow Blondie is doing alright. Ruby says that her sister is doing the best shit she can at the moment, and then tells Pierre to win one for Beacon, before the three decide to get something to drink.
Coffee?
Tea.
That's my girl.
You heard the lady.
Jesus, woman! Have you ever heard of personal space? Anyways, both Nora and Ren try to get Pierre ready for the fight, but it's clear that her mind is on other matters. So Jean suggests that they all get some fresh air. Back with Yang, we see that Crow has come to see his little firecracker and to ask her why she did it.
You know why.
All I know is that you attacked a helpless kid. So either you're lying, or you're crazy.
I'm not lying.
Crazy. Got it.
Dude, you forgot! She could be telling the truth! It's you're lying, you're crazy, or you're telling the truth. Why is everyone out to get Yang?
Girl, just jealous of my waifu, aren't you?
Yes, cause it's not like I don't have thousands already. You will be mine as well, Yang. You will be mine as well. Then Yang suddenly let slip that she saw her mother, explaining that back on the train she did manage to see someone with the same sword as in Crow's picture.
You're not crazy, Yang. That was your mom, all right. Let me guess. She didn't say a word, did she?
Yang, we have a lot to talk about.
Yep, not a fucking word, because Rooster Teeth are fucking idiots.
I don't give a fucking shit if Monty died. I don't care if he took the knowledge to his grave. I don't cry myself to sleep at night. Fuck you! Anyways, Crow explains that yes, that was her mother. He knows this because, as antisocial as his sister is, she does keep in touch with him from time to time, and she wanted him to give Yang a message.
I was trying to wait for the right time, and this sure ain't it. But I guess you deserve to know. She wanted me to tell you that she saved you once, but you shouldn't expect that kindness again.
Wow! Mother of the fucking year that woman is, isn't she? Crow then goes on telling Yang that she's a tough egg and shouldn't let this get her down, for, as he should know, sometimes bad things just happen. To cheer her up, he tells her that Raven did let slip some info, and because of it, he may know where she is. Just in case Yang wishes to go ask her mom for the 17 years of child support she owes. She's probably hanging out having tea with Ragyo and Suzuki. And then they kissed. Back outside, we see Pierre watching some symbolism, no pun intended, fall before her feet.
Hey! It's no green goop, but I think it still might do some good.
Where are your criticisms now, people who thought Jean was a stupid leader? Where are your criticisms now? Anyways, Jean notices that Pierre is down, and to make her feel better, decides to tell her of an even more pathetic person. Himself!
You were the first person to ever believe in me. You know that? Even when I told my parents I was going to Beacon, they told me not to worry if I ended up having to move back home.
Well, that actually sounds a lot like my mom.
You're man to nothing, mijo.
Thanks, Mom!
Anyways, Jean says that she was always there for him, even when he didn't deserve it, and he can tell that something is really upsetting her and wants to help. But Pierre explains that he is already helping.
More symbolism.
I don't know what to do. Do you believe in destiny?
To be honest, sweetie, I wanted to believe in destiny. But 30 minutes into the demo and I knew that game was gonna suck.
No, Pierre means destiny as in fate. Or, as she doesn't believe in fate, more like a goal that one works towards your entire life. She goes on explaining that she has a difficult choice, as she always knew that she was meant to be a huntress. But now something's come along, and with it she could save the world. But it's possible that it may cost her a piece of herself, along with something that she holds dear.
This isn't how things were supposed to happen.
I'm sorry, please, I'm just trying to understand what's wrong.
I don't know if I can do it.
Of course you can. You really believe it's your destiny to save the world? You can't let anything stand in your way. Pyrrha?
Stop.
Did I say something wrong?
Stop! John! sorry.
Pyrrha, wait! What did I say?
You didn't have to say anything. She's a woman, she's on her period, so you're fucked without the pleasure of being fucked. Anyways, we then cut to the airfield where Ruby sees Velvet taking pictures of Sun's guns. The Playboy Bunny then asks if Yang is doing well, saying that a very similar thing happened to Coco.
I think it's just awful what people are saying about her. Most people don't know what it's like on the battlefield. I mean, even experienced fighters can get scared and start seeing things. If it happened to Coco, it can happen to anyone.
Why is no one suggesting that it may be?
Ah, fuck it. Everyone in anime is fucking stupid anyways. Including everyone who calls Ruby a dumb protagonist, because she's the only one who manages to finally figure out that something may be up. And upon returning to the stadium, she gets even more suspicious as she notices that Emerald is in the crowd, even though she's supposed to be in Mistral with the injured asshole. And speaking of which, as Ruby heads in the back to confront Emerald, guess who she runs into?
Mercury?
What the fuck you doing here, man? I thought Cinder told you to lay. Oh, fuck, I forgot. Everyone's stupid. Hey, Internet, yeah, a little shocked that I'm talking right now. Kind of like Ruby shocked that Merc is here, even though Cinder told him to lay low. But that's because my video keeps getting blocked. Yes, multiple times by YouTube, saying that this is copyright infringement. Even though clearly, yeah, I'm working within fair use. Anyways, Ruby's like, oh no, Pyrrha versus Penny, that's not gonna end well. And yeah, Merc's like, oh yeah, Metal versus Polarity. That's not a good thing, man. You want to keep your magnets away from your computers. So yeah, I have to talk over this in order to get my video out somehow. And with all that foreshadowing set up, the episode fades out.
And there you have it, folks. Both the reason why Rooster Teeth can't write a good story-based show, even if their lives depended on it, and why they are kings of character development.
A lot to get through here, folks, but since I'm not going to be criticizing too much this time around, I won't take long to explain it. Firstly, let's talk about the thing that I still have an issue with. Everybody's inability to remember that you live in a world with superpowers. There is bound to be someone who can do things like create illusions. Again, this complaint is legitimate, as all Miles and Carrie had to do was have Ironwood say that he was looking into external influences. But at the time being, he had to handle crowd control. We all know that the mob is stupid and will jump on anything like celebrity gossip, even though things are far from being that bad. But like back with Penny stopping the car in Volume 2, whenever the plot demands a shocking moment, it seems our characters forget that there are people like this everywhere, even though they shouldn't, because they are one of them! Ah, the Shyamalan shocker. Stupid, but classic. Also, we know that Cinder and the gang didn't go to Haven, and it wouldn't take much to figure that out. So why can't General Ironwood figure that out? Well, it could again point to the fact that Cinder and her allies have friends in high places that can keep their absence a secret. But again, that's more or less conjecture, and we really don't need that from Rooster Teeth right now.
What is needed is an explanation on why Mercury was there to stop Ruby when Cinder told him to lay low!
Seriously, another major step in their plan is about to be underway, and he could have ruined it with just one wrong person seeing his stupid face. Again, this has less to do with character decisions and more to do with inconsistent writing, or more likely, poor writing. Naughty Miles. They should have just had some White Fang member disguised as an Atlas troop to stop her. Or better yet, it would have been a perfect opportunity to introduce Adam into the plot. With him about to play an important role to the volume, hashtag give Adam a hand, and after a lackluster build to him so far, we needed him to start taking an active role. We've gotten some idea of who he might be through the last episode's flashback, and by what Blake has revealed about him, but he needs to start participating in this show so that we can know what drives him. Well, it's the same thing that drives all men. The power of the boner. That little guy downstairs makes a lot of our decisions.
Well, speaking of such, sadly what could have been a beautiful scene of trust and friendship has been spoiled by the shippers. Yep, I just know this scene is going to fuel shippers like hentai fuels Novel. But calm your tits, it's not like that.
Try and remember where both stand. Blake has always had a hard time dealing with emotional conflict, normally running away from it, which isn't good for Yang, as she's already had that happen to her. Her own mother abandoned her. Her stepmother died, not her fault, but still. And then her father emotionally cut himself off. Yang has had to deal with people that she's loved and depended on leaving her. The world thinks that she just maliciously attacked someone. She's the reason her team can't fight in the tournament anymore, and no one believes her. Ruby's her sister, so her support doesn't really count. And it's nice to have Weiss on her side, but the teammate that she supported, the person that she opened herself up to, says that she might not be able to trust her. Yeah, you have your world suddenly come crashing down and not feel betrayed when a friend says they think you're guilty. Again, I'm not against this kind of relationship between Yang and Blake. Yes, you are. But I want it to be because of legitimate reasons and because of proper growth. And as we've seen, it's clear that Monty has other plans for Blake, which I actually kind of like, because we don't get enough of this kind of true friendship, not only built on mutual love, but also through adversities and trials.
I mean, why is it that every time we get two girls that show even the slightest sign of liking each other, there are always idiots out there that are like,
oh my god, they must love each other and want to bang together. Just because we had one love scene doesn't mean that every scene between characters is a love scene. You perverts.
But there was a moment of true love that we can't get behind because not only does it make sense in canon, but it also was one of the most beautiful scenes of the series so far.
Almost crushing the classroom scene with Yang and Blake, Rooster Teeth once again breaks into our hearts with gut-wrenching believability. I'm glad they didn't have Pyrrha crumble and start screaming at the weight of what she has to do like they do in other animes. But instead, she struggles with a choice like a normal human being, wanting to do what's right but afraid of what it would change. On one hand, she could say no and keep to the path she's been going, keeping her friends in the process but possibly putting the world in danger. Or she could become the maiden, a guardian of the world. But then she could lose a piece of herself, and possibly the one that she has come to love. Unlike the Bumblebee one where you have to take a lot of assumptions, how Rooster Teeth built this romance was perfect and well paced, as this scene clearly shows. All too often we either get the stereotypical stubborn love, or worse, the forced love, done only because the writers, or in some cases the fans, wanted it. While he might have had a rough start, Jean has become a great character, and Miles has done a fantastic job voicing him. Too bad he can't put that kind of effort into the plot.
The horse is dead and decayed. Stop beating it.
Sorry, trying to end this on a positive note, so that's probably not going to be possible with the end credit clip. But anyways, I really can't say much more about this scene that it doesn't already show for itself. I really hate shipping, but if I had to choose one, the Arco ship is the only one I can really get behind because it's the only one so far that hasn't needed excuses to explain itself. I also find it nice how Pyrrha shows that one's emotion can affect one's control over their semblance, as an internal conflict with one's soul would affect the manifestation of it. Even if it's a particular and overused trope, because it's something that does happen, and Jen Brown, voice of Pyrrha Nikos, pulls off that pain and internal conflict so well.
And since the next episode looks like it's going to be kicking off with some real plot progression, and with this one bringing Volume 3 back to its greatest streak, before Episode 7 killed it, I can't wait to see how it all turns out. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe if you want to keep up to date. I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Critic. With me, no movie's sacred, no video's safe, but all deserve a chance. Catch you guys next time. Toodles!
Ooh, polarity versus metal. That could be bad.
No, not the magnets!